Hello and welcome back to Kidocracy at Large. I'm Siddhan Chandra, here every other Saturday to speak of current events in the light of kidocracy, which is a call for the rule of minors and minorities. Today I would like to offer a kidocratic reading of the film Compartment Number 6 that won the Grand Prix, which shared the Grand Prix prize at the Cannes Film Festival this year. Compartment Number 6 is directed by Juho Kousmanen, and the script is based on a Finnish novel by Rosa Liksom, who in her youth studied archaeology in Moscow, as has the heroine of this film, Laura. The action takes place over a few days, most of it in a train headed from Moscow to Murmansk, a town in the Arctic Circle. The film shows the development of an unlikely, almost impossible friendship between a Finnish bohemian lesbian and a Russian working class lout. I like this film for its presentation of anti-identity politics, which we are all in dire need of, trapped as we are in polarized bubbles of right and left. In Laura and Vadim, we see two oppositional figures approach each other ambivalently, find common ground, and co-create a peak experience. The film also points to the virtues of slow travel, offering opportunities to meet and relate to random people. Always a gamble, but here we see it pay off big. We see the antidote to quote-unquote hellless other people, opportunities for transformation and liberation from our blind spots. We see slow travel offer the time for the blossoming of sovereignty in the space liberated from the mastery of speed. Hooked as we are to the convenience and speed of air travel, the fossil fuel guzzling airline industry intensifying the climate emergency, the film offers a liberatory vision of going slow. So Laura, our heroine, a Finnish archaeology student who has just finished a whole year of studies in Russia, is headed to Murmansk, where she wants to see the petroglyphs, ancient petroglyphs going back thousands of years, to crown her Russian sojourn. This trip was planned earlier by her Russian lover, Irina, and should have culminated their year-long relationship. But for whatever the reason, Irina cannot make it, and Laura, relationally adrift, is going to Murmansk on her own. On the train, Laura finds Vadim, her fellow traveler in compartment number 6, going to the same place to work in a mine. She a tourist and he a laborer. She to appreciate ancient art and he to work in a labor camp, basically. Vadim makes an ass of himself right off the bat, getting stupidly drunk and declaring the greatness of Russia in relation to Finland, of course, and aggressively proposes sex. The train is too full for Laura to change her seat, and she takes refuge in her video camera, looking at her year's worth of footage of Moscow intelligentsia, friends of Irina. However, the next morning, a sober Vadim proves more tolerable. And as time passes, they size each other up. And each takes sometimes rash and sometimes calculated risks towards a genuine friendship. Above all, this film is about taking risks. When the train makes an all-night stop in a random town, Laura takes the mad risk of getting into a car with Vadim to visit a babushka friend of his. The old woman and Laura drink vodka. Vadim surprisingly absent, and converse about deep things. The old woman advises Laura to align herself, that little animal within herself, and life will be fine. Laura is already doing that. After the return to the train and the journey goes on, Laura invites a third-class ticketed traveler, a Finnish man with a guitar, to join her and Vadim in their second-class compartment. Now Vadim is pissed off. He is now outclassed by two Finnish culturally wealthy people and boycotts both their company. And they are discreetly amused. You have to see the film to witness how Laura and Vadim, apparent enemies, break into each other's world in a way that truly surprises and inspires, in that we see the fifth value of kidocratic education, the flight from the molar to the molecular. These two products of their respective nationalisms, class differences, and sexual orientations abandon the poles of their institutional certainties and molar loyalties to approach each other at a molecular level as individuals, like children, to enable a pure gift. The petroglyphs of Murmansk, ancient indigenous art created in excess of useful activities, are more than a plot device. They instigate an eruption of a noble experience, blasting the ceiling of planned, goal-oriented activities, of work. They dissolve the walls of labor, of mining, of cultural tourism, of academic work, to access a peak experience unimaginable to both. The pure gift, or the unreturnable gift, explodes the economy of utilitarian exchange. It takes us back to a pre-verbal, pre-linguistic past, free of what George Bataille would call the lie of language. Molar identities, institutional identities, shored up by language, more and more sophisticated language, melt away in the face of ineffable experiences that can only be felt. In the cinematic magic of Compartment Number 6, the petroglyphs are a cipher for all that we could be. This film aces the challenge of film to show what cannot be seen and to make us feel what cannot be spoken about. The film embodies kidocratic education, which is led by minors and minorities, to combat adult supremacy and majoritarian fascism. The majority, or the planet's richest 1%, a numerical minority but in power a majority, divide and rule the 99% based on the categories of nationalism, language, schooling, and the family, whereas kidocratic cinema integrates the 99% so that we can rule and regulate the 1%. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Till then, bye.